night beginning to fall over Southern California, but the lights are shining bright here at the spectacular SoFi Stadium in metropolitan Los Angeles. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Chargers. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Come on, set! Quick,
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. This defense for the Dolphins, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And they run the option on second down. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Well, throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return, and it'll be Dolphin football.
I'm ready.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Well, partner. It's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Hey, exit.
From the shotgun, Lawrence swinging this, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and picked up by the Chargers. And this one will be brought back to the 22. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. The Chargers at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first two games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to start winning some games.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career, and Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. 1 yard is the game. And that'll be good for a Charger first down. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And room there to work it inside the 25. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slash and run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets?
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with career touchdown number 70. And the Chargers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Dolphins take over first down at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. They go play action with Lawrence. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess. That allows for extra yardage on the return.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but it definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all three phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now Lawrence. And one more time, here's Kirk. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Lawrence. And that's going to be incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. He is going to find Hill here. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
They try again with Cook. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going to play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action, throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory. What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. In motion, Hill. 4th down. Here's Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Christian Kirk, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Charger drive about to get going. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Well done from the safety to come up there at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle, too.
Yeah, he actually played into his position, didn't he? He's the strong safety. That means being near the line of scrimmage, cleaning up the run game, almost an extra linebacker, and he relishes the opportunities to put a big hit on a runner.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Lawrence. Oh, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lance. He finds his target, Allen. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
95 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Christian McCaffrey on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fair catch. The 25-yard line. The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And going deep for Hill. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in to get some points.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Tyreek Hill set to return it. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Dolphins drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. This is caught. It's Kirk. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action now. Lawrence. And going deep for Hill. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
That's a really good job in execution. They avoided the flag downfield and avoided giving up yardage for free. Really good coverage.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. Forced out to his left. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And now here's another interception. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 134 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And now they'll throw with Lance. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. McCaffrey. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd and goal.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think... easy to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lawrence. He'll air this one out for Kirk. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ballgame, but that's something right there, still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And some room to run now. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 171 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in for second-half blowout material. On the toss, they run wide side with McCaffrey. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
At the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Dolphins 7.
McCaffrey on the counter, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
4th down now after a loss of 2.
It's 4th down.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Lawrence will throw. Gets this one to Hill. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. And now here's another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Second down and 8. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Right where this set him down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. That is caught. It's Williams. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 30. Up the middle, it's Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. The Charger drive about to get going. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So, for the Chargers, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season.